I'm going to show you how to get your FBI background check for Paraguay without an agent, without a lawyer, in just 4 easy steps. First, we'll begin your application. Second, we'll get your fingerprints and send them to the FBI. Third, we'll get your background check apostilled. And fourth, you will receive your apostilled FBI background check. This background check is also known as the Identity History Summary Request. First thing we need to do is apply on the website. And the website warns you to not use Google Chrome and to not use Safari, so I recommend using Mozilla Firefox. Make sure that when you use your name, you type in the exact name that is on your passport. Make sure to use an address that the FBI would match with you. It's okay if you're already a digital nomad and don't live there anymore. This is just so the FBI can identify you correctly. And when you do, just write this address down because we're going to make sure you use the same address later on in your application. So you completed step 1 by initiating your application, and you very quickly will receive a confirmation email asking you to send the FBI your fingerprints. You have 2 methods. Number 1 is if you're in the United States, and number 2 is if you're in Paraguay. If you're in the United States, you will have your apostilled background check within about 2 weeks. If you're in Paraguay and you don't want to return to the US for this process, it's going to take about 5 to 7 weeks before you can receive your apostilled background check in hand here in Paraguay. If you're in the USA, we technically are going to be doing this digitally, but you will need to go to a post office to scan your fingerprints. First, you're going to click on this USPS verification. Make sure you do this in Firefox because it might have issues in another browser. Once you click that verification, you're good. You don't have to schedule an appointment for any post office. Now, you're going to go to the nearest post office that offers fingerprinting services. I don't know if they all do, but this link here, this website, shows you ones that definitely have it. You don't need to print anything in advance. Just show them your confirmation email that has a QR code. They will scan it. They will verify who you are by looking at your driver's license, and then they'll scan your fingerprints. Then you're going to pay them about $60, and then they will send your fingerprints digitally to the FBI. Within about 1 or 2 hours, you'll receive your background check, and you're good. The only thing you have to do next is apostille. Now, let's say you're in Paraguay. How do you get the FBI your fingerprints? Don't listen to anybody that tells you you can do this at the US Embassy. That's not true. What we're going to need to do is go to Interpol. And before we do, let's prepare some things. You're going to need some cash. At minimum, you're going to need 120,000 guaraníes, which is about $17 USD. But I recommend taking out some extra cash just to be sure. Rush hour at Interpol is usually around 11 a.m. Now that we arrive to Interpol, we're going to print 2 pieces of paper. Number 1 is we're going to print the official FBI fingerprint sheet. And number 2 is you're going to print out your confirmation email from the FBI. Most people come for another purpose. They come to get their Interpol background check. Just remember that what you're here to do is different than what most of the other people are here to do. When you walk into Interpol, this is the number 1 table for help. We're going to go into this little corner and kindly ask to print some papers. Quisiera imprimir algo. I would like to print something. For your confirmation email, you're going to save your email as a PDF file and send it to Magali via WhatsApp. As far as the FBI fingerprint form, Magali is able to look it up on her computer and she can print it out for you. But again, you could print those out in advance. I am asking her to Google it. This is what we're going to get our fingerprints done on. So now that you have your paper, you're just going to stand in that line right there or ask for help right over here, and they'll take your fingerprints. You'll pay about 100,000 guaraníes and you'll be good to go. Next, we're going to go to DHL to mail these fingerprints and your email confirmation to the FBI. Don't forget on this sheet to fill out your data. All right, now we're going to go to DHL to send everything to the FBI. And I go to the DHL Express in Shopping Mariscal. We're going to the older building. It's on the lower level. Today there's actually a market going on. The DHL is in the back on the other side, way over there. All right, so now that you get to the DHL Express, we're going to mail both our paper with the fingerprints on. Make sure you actually fill out the form. And also with the same letter, we're going to print out your confirmation email from the FBI, and those will be together. It's going to cost you about $60 or $70. It'll take about 14 days for the package to actually be delivered to the FBI, and then you'll wait. It'll take about 1 week for them to process it because they're going to take this physical paper and somebody's going to physically scan it. Which then after those 3 weeks, you're going to receive the confirmation email. If you're worried, you can also go to an earlier email and check on the status. Once the FBI has processed your background check, it's ready to download as a PDF and we can get it apostilled. Now, what apostilling is just the US government saying a document is official. The quickest way to apostille a federal document is to physically take it to Washington, D.C. And that's not easy for everybody. So that's why these agencies exist, where you give them your document. The digital version is fine. They print it out, and these agencies are in D.C. So then they just, every day, they take their haul over to D.C., submit them, they come back when they're ready, and then they mail you the finished apostilled document. I used DC Mobile Notary, and they were incredible. So you're going to download your background check, and then you're going to upload it to the apostilling agency. The one I used cost $220 for the expedited option. It took them about 10 days to apostille it. I had the apostilling agency mail it to my family home in the United States because I actually ended up being back in the States when this happened. If I wasn't in the States, I would reach out to the apostilling agency ahead of time and explain my situation. I would tell them, my end goal is for you to mail this to the DHL facility in Shopping Mariscal. That way, I can go to DHL and pick it up when it's ready. I don't want them to try to mail it to my physical location in Paraguay, and I don't want them to use anything but DHL to mail it to me in Paraguay. I don't know what they will tell you, but your options are either for them to do this, to mail it to you using DHL in Paraguay, and just get it at the DHL station, or ask the apostilling agency to mail it to your family or friends in the United States, and then ask your family or friends to use DHL to mail it to the DHL in Paraguay.